What's happening, guys? So today I reckon we're just going to do a bit of engine bling. I've got a cover from my old Skyline which is black, and I'm going to be putting that on, as well as I'm just going to give this a quick lick of paint because it looks a bit crappy, as well as replace the hose there with an Aeroflow silicone one. I think we'll do a few bits and pieces because I want to put some stuff on the engine cover, and then once we do that, then we can obviously just make the engine bay look a little more prettier. I've got an aluminium airbox that I might try and put on as well today, depending on how we go for time. But I do have a replacement air element for the Blitz pod filter, so we'll get that done too. And I want to put a Nismo radiator cap on, as well as a proper Nismo oil cap, which I've got. This one here is a fake, and I can't stand fake parts. So look, bear with me and we'll get cracking on this. My garage is being used at the moment to basically store stuff, and I'm turning that last garage at the back there into an office, so I don't have much room to work in the garage, unfortunately. So bear with me and we'll come back to it. Righto guys, so we're just going to start by taking out the 4 bolts, that attach the engine cover. I'm just using a 10mm bit here. So 3 of them are bolts and 1 of them is just a nut, which is that one there. So it's fairly simple to do, and once that's done, obviously we'll grab the new engine cover and come back and show you guys where we're at. So while we're here, I'm just going to remove the intercooler piping up here. It's just like an 8mm bit, which is pretty straightforward to remove, if I'm honest. And then we've got one down the bottom there which connects the other one. You can see that once we move the air filter, that bolt there. I don't know how well you can see that, but we're also going to be taking off the pod filter as well. So once we've done that, I'll come back to it and I'll show you guys what colour I'm going to do the actual piping in, because you can see it's scored there quite badly. So yeah, back in a moment. Alright guys, so I've got the intercooler pipe off now. It's fairly easy to do, and I've also untouched the airflow meter and pod filter there. You can see it here. So that's all detached. What I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to sand it down a little bit and then give it a coat of what they call truck bed liner. It's like a rough black finish. Seems to do well. It's what we covered the intercooler air duct in. So I'm going to give this a quick sand down, and then I'll give it a few coats of paint and we'll see how it turns out. Alright guys, we're getting ready to spray this down. As I said, we're going to be using the truck bed liner, which is this stuff here, Duplicolor bed armor, do-it-yourself truck bed liner. Just gives that kind of a rough black matte finish, which I like. I've sanded it down using some 800 grit, sorry, and I've just made sure I put something around, some tape around there, and also plugged up the in and out of it, so obviously no paint or bed liner gets in there, because you don't want that floating around in your engine bay. So I'm going to give this a few coats now, and we'll come back to it once I put it out in the sun to dry. Alright, so one of the second things we're going to be doing today is installing this airbox aluminum. I paid about $90 for this, and as you can see through the cutout it's got there and there, that obviously it's made for the intercooler and air induction piping to run through, so it sits flush in the engine bay. I'm going to have to get rid of this return flow, or undo this return flow pipe here for the intercooler, but it shouldn't be too difficult, I would assume. And then once that's done, we'll get it looking nice and tidy, instead of just having a pod filter sitting around there. Will this make it any less hot in the engine bay? I highly doubt it, to be honest with you, but it'll definitely look better. So we'll get started on that and we'll come back to it shortly. Alright guys, so the pipe is drying quite nicely. I think it's only a matter of time before it's ready, to be upfront and honest with you. that red airbox that I had, I'll show you guys, just so you know what's going on in my garage. It's a mess at the moment. I'll show you the box. I did attempt to put it on, but you know what, it's just going to get too dirty too quickly and scratch too easy. I'm going to send it over to a friend of mine to get it powder coated black, because in that way it's going to match the rest of the decor I'm going with the engine bay. It was a bit of a pain to install, but to be honest with you, it's nothing that we can't handle. So look, once that pipe's done, I've taken apart the air filter now, getting ready to do something else to it. I found something I had in my garage from a while ago, which is off a 180 SX SR20. It's a carbon fiber heat shield, actual carbon fiber. I believe the holes in it are too, well, they're not the right shape for obviously what we're not going to be using it for. So I'll do what I did with obviously the Blitz air filter and obviously drill my own holes out again and just plug up the other ones. So I'm going to do that in a second, and then after that's dry, we should be good to put everything back together, and also obviously some bling parts, the radiator cap, and obviously then is my oil filler cap. Genuine parts obviously, because we don't use fakes, except for this exception here, because I needed a cap and I couldn't find the other one after I changed the oil. But yeah, so look, we'll get that done. Sorry for the crappy video, guys. It's been a weird day. I didn't have anything really planned out, and because everything's a shambles at the moment, I'm not really sure where anything is, if that makes sense. So we'll come back to it, and by the time we come back to it, we'll obviously be on the home stretch of assembling everything. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're going to replace the air element now. I'm not sure, most of you guys are probably looking at this and going, oh, it's not that bad. But I got a new one the other day, and I think you'll find that it's quite substantially bad. So this is the replacement for the part there, Blitz Sus Power LM air filter. You can get them in different sizes. Just make sure when you measure your air filter you're getting the right diameter, because I made the mistake of ordering the wrong size before a while back. So that's it there. I'll open the box up for you so you can see the actual difference. And by the way guys, that's the carbon fiber air shield, heat shield, sorry. As I said, I've drilled out the holes. I've decided, because these holes were going to overlap one another, I've decided we're going to put the MAF going that way. Sorry, that way. So you can see that, but obviously it'll be on the other side. So that's the color it's meant to be, and that's the color it is. So I think you can see a lot of difference. One's very clean, one's very dirty. So I'm going to do this now, and then we're going to get working on putting the piping back in and everything else like that. As I said, we're not going to be using that heat shield, or that airbox, sorry, because it's just getting too dirty and red's not really my colour. Alright guys, this is the black engine cover I was telling you about, as opposed to the silver one. You can see it's pretty dirty at the moment. Under there is actually a nice gloss 2-pack black paint, which was done when I got my car painted back when I had my black Skyline to match the colour of the car. I've put the intercooler piping back on now. As you can see, it already looks a million times better than the other one, because you're not seeing the score marks or anything like that now. It just looks like a matte black finish. The piping, or the piping I should say, this is way too big for the pipe. Not so much for the, obviously, the MAF or anything like that, but for this particular pipe up here, it's too big, so I'm going to need to change that over. It's going to be okay for that one there, but I'd rather do them all together as opposed to one now and one later. Just make it another day worth of doing stuff on the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that black engine cover up, put it back on the car, also put the radiator cap and oil cap, and I've got an engine oil plate as well from Nismo, which you can buy. They're only about $30, pretty cheap, but it just I think with the black cover and the red badge of the Nismo, I think it's going to make it stand out a little bit. I was going to put the Nismo pod filter on, but I've decided I'm still going to keep going with the Blitz one, considering it's basically brand new now after we replace the element. And again, you can see the difference between element color there. Obviously one has been around the traps, the other has not, and because I do a lot of country driving and things like that, I want to make sure clean air is getting to the engine. So yeah, stay tuned and I will come back to you guys shortly. Alright guys, we are done. Things didn't go to plan as what I expected them to today, and I'm sorry this is a pretty shitty video, but I got what I wanted to get done. Obviously replaced the engine cover, put the Nismo oil cap on, the Nismo oil change plate record on, change the engine cover, radiator cap, change the air element on the filter here, and put the carbon fiber shield on there as well too. I had to cut that down actually, but everything else kind of I wanted to do didn't really come to fruition, and wasn't the best video I've done so far, to be honest with you. But I think in terms of where we started in the engine bay, we've come a bit of ways. I think from when you guys first saw it, when I had the original airbox on here, it's looking a lot better than what it used to. Plenty of more stuff to be done, but we'll do them as we come to them. As I said, it's a timing thing for me now, so as soon as I get more time, I'll do more stuff to the car. But I think for now, that'll be all we'll do to the engine until we get the exhaust and stuff finally done. I might bring out another video soon, just doing a few other bits and pieces, but I'll keep you guys in the loop and we'll go from there. Again, thanks for tuning in. Anyone who subscribed to me or anyone who takes the time to watch my videos, I know they're pretty crappy, but I do my best, and I'll bring some more content soon. Thanks guys.